hello everyone, Namaste. My name is Luke Elijah. Thank you for watching this video. I'm here with Dr. Shay, the monk who flew all the way from sunny Gold Coast, Australia, to be here with us. This is actually Shay's second video interview with me. Right? In order to watch the previous video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and search for it. Right, thank you, Shay, for coming on board again.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Luke. It's always a pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you so much. The subject of Tantra and Magick is often, misrepresented in the popular media, and people they're ignorant. You don't understand it. So kind of like you being the expert in both the subjects of Tantra and Magick, I thought you could give us a brief lowdown on what exactly does it entail. Let's start with Tantra. Most people associate it with sex because of staying, and this is a Western perception, and actually it's very misconstrued because sex is the sex component, or is only a small portion of this. Could you allude to this and could you explain to the audience what Tantra is exactly?
Yeah, and I think that the reason why there's such a misconception out there is because of bad videos and bad documentaries. So hopefully we'll get some good documentaries happening on, just like this one.
Like this one, exactly. Yeah.
Tantra means to weave. Right? So literally you're bringing a warp and a weft together. So it's the masculine and the feminine in nature. You're weaving those together to create something. The same way that if you had a person weaving a fabric together, they would need these two types of threads. It also, Tantra means that we're weaving together the threads of many different spiritual traditions. So Tantra is not just Taoist, it's not just Hindu, it's not just Western sex magic. It's a whole lot of threads all brought together to create a complete system.
Right, so it's actually much more diverse and multifaceted than most people think.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah. So you...
Oh, sorry. All right, well, the whole purpose of Tantra is to move people towards living in the present moment. The point of power is always in the present moment. And it's in that present moment that we create our reality. So what do we need to do to bring those threads of the male and the female together to create our reality in the present moment? And that is a technical definition of what Tantra is.
Yes, you see, so it's actually broader than what people think. It's not really all about sex, just to burst your bubble. Alright. You actually have the upcoming two full-day workshop on Tantra. Could you tell us what the audience or the participants can expect to experience during those 2 days?
Alright, and I'll be really blunt here. If people are coming along to a Tantra workshop and they're expecting an orgy, they're going to be very disappointed.
Right, yeah, so there's no naked flash, there's none of that.
Especially Tantra level 1, there is no nudity in the class, there is no sex in the class. We do talk about sexual subjects openly, right? Because one of the things that gives our life the most joy is our sexual experience. But unfortunately, in our increasing Western culture, we find that sex is actually causing a lot of misery for people, and they're shooting on themselves, like they should do this, they shouldn't do that, and they create a whole lot of rules and regulations that actually steal their joy. So we have to go in and do a process of disassembling all of those things so we can put it back together in a way that will actually give us a correct viewpoint of how the universe is created. And once we see that, we realize that we are central to this process of creation, and we can really create anything we want in our own life, the way we look, the partner that we want to manifest in our life, the style of life that we want to live. It's like The Secret, but The Secret can be, because it is a beginner's manual, The Secret can lack a little voltage. But Tantra, I can tell you, Luke, it is the strongest voltage that you can plug a spiritual
Yes, it's very potent, powerful, creative life force, as you mentioned. It's an energy. Right?
Yeah, the whole idea is that when a man and a woman come together, right, or anybody comes together in a sexual act, enough energy is released to create a child. Now, obviously, when we make love, we don't always want to create a child. Right? So how do you use the dissipation of that energy to create what you want in the world? So if you're not going to create a child, you create what you call a magical child. This magical child grows and manifests what you want in the world.
Right, you see, so that energy can be recycled to channel to creating and manifesting other things, other childs in your life, not necessarily a physical child.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the other great thing that we do during the workshop is we give a transmission of Shakti. Shakti is divine feminine energy, and the Shakti is the motivating, potent force of the universe. And it can be used for the creation of what you want. It can also be used for healing and many other applications as well, which we discuss.
Right, awesome. So thank you, Shay, for explaining that, sex is not a perverted, dirty thing as mainstream society puts it. It's actually, sexuality is actually very sacred, and you'll learn more in her Tantra workshop. Right, let's discuss the subject on magic. Right, people also tend to have many judgments and misconceptions. They think it's related to the occult, but it's not. Right? Could you tell us more?
Sure, absolutely. And again, I think most of the misconceptions about magic come from film and television and Hollywood.
As well.
Yes. But if you have a look at magic, magic is again about manifestation. And if you really want to understand magic, what you have a look at is indigenous cultures. Like in Australia, we have indigenous Aboriginal culture, and their indigenous form of magic is called Dacha, right? And it is so strong and potent and powerful. Unfortunately, Australian government has banned it, right? Because what it can actually, it can be used very potently to manifest things. So those people that think magic doesn't work, why would a government ban it if it doesn't work, right? Now, by the same token, though, magic shouldn't be something that inspires fear, right? Because magic has always been used by these indigenous cultures to, I guess, essentially, it's been used to even up things that they felt have been uneven. So it has been used as a form of justice by indigenous cultures, but also it's a form of science. Really, when you're bringing all of these different elements together, you're going to manifest something. If our grandmother gets in a kitchen and starts throwing things together in
a cauldron and trying to conjure something.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly it.
You're cooking up a storm.
Well, you're looking at it from one point of view. I mean, somebody from a fear point of view could look at it, but really all she's doing is making a sponge cake. She's putting everything in a bowl, whipping it up.
Yes, and creating something, manifesting something.
Yeah, and if we have a look, 100 years ago, the whole idea of an oven in a kitchen would have been seen as being magical. Nobody had a fire in their kitchen. They actually had to go outside to one. So magic is actually science, and you look at a lot of the ancient scriptures, and you find that magic is expressed in these ancient scriptures in a form of allegory. And we're understanding now that things that we know as science, like dark matter and dark energy, we have a look at the writings of the ancient alchemists, which was very magical, but they describe dark matter as quintessence.
Yes.
And we actually have Albert Einstein. He was lambasted in the 1950s for his exploration of quintessence, which was his lambda theory, his unified field theory.
Yes.
And it was laughed at. It was laughed out of universities, and he nearly lost his place in the universities. And now we can see that it's been scientifically proven to work.
Yes.
Right, so ignorance of magic is, and the fear of magic is only not understanding a science. No, magic is a science. When you do something that is repeatable and you get a result, it's a science. And with magic it works. You do this, you do that, you get this result. It's scientifically repeatable, producing a result. When people explore science, they don't always know why things produce a result, right? And you have people go, well, if magic works, explain why. You don't always know why, but you know what result you're going to get. And it's up to the scientists now to explore magic and find out why you get the result at the end.
Thank you, Shay, for demystifying it. I like how you explain it. It's not just about magic. It's not about having a cauldron and magic wand and concocting potions with all kinds of weird ingredients like bats being and some eye of some animal. It's really not about that. It's like what you mentioned, alchemy. It's about the transmutation of fear-based negative stuff that does no longer serve you into positive, better ones in manifesting, creating what you prefer, and that's magic.
That's a really good point, Luke, because if you have a look at some of those old recipes and things for magical potions, and you think, oh my God, that's bizarre.
Yeah, where do you find these ingredients to begin with,
but
right?
then you have a look at what's in our modern medication.
Yes.
For instance, if a man or woman goes on hormone replacement therapy, you're drinking or consuming mare's urine right? Or many ingredients in modern medicine come from a lot. I mean, we have ingredients that come from toads. We have things like that get combined in scientific laboratories to produce a certain result. But because somebody in an ancient manuscript used to do it in a particular way, they go, ooh, it's hocus pocus and it must be evil. You know, it's
but nowadays it's just from the traditional past when you had mixed it in a apothecary lab. Now you have it in a scientific lab. There's no difference.
Yeah, right? It's only a shade of difference. But really what we should do is throw the fear outside, have a good look at why it works, because it does work. And like I have all sorts of clients actually apply to have a look at, and one of my spells I get asked for the most, right, if anybody wants to contact me, is businesses contacting me for what they call the sell spell. If they've got a particular piece of real estate or a business that is not selling, it's become very popular in Australia for me to go or send this spell to people to actually help bring a whole lot of elements together. They're going to bring what we call sympathetic magic. In other words, it brings a sympathy from the universe to create something to happen. Exactly why that happens, I don't know, but we know it works. And we have businesses selling within 2 weeks of performing this ceremony or this ritual.
This ritual. Interesting. Okay. Right. Shane, you also have some upcoming retreats.
Yeah.
And could you tell us a little bit more?
Okay. I just happen to have a couple of flyers here, so I can share that as well. While I'm in Asia, I have an increasing awareness of people of the sacred sites in Australia. So we put together a tour called the Utopia Tour of Australia, and we go through some of the sacred sites in southeast Queensland that are very potent, and show people, not only introduce them to the area and go, oh, I feel this, we also show them how they can actively use the energy and the personality in these different sacred sites to transform things in their own life and make their life more like a utopia.
That sounds awesome. I want to attend already. Sign me up.
It's beautiful. We do things like we pat wild dolphins, feed wild parrots, but we also start with an intent. So the Utopia Tours, you go with an intent, something you want to manifest in your life, and then we worked on it. I'll work with people individually while you're there to manifest that in their life, and we also do group processes as well. So it's not just a passive tour where you experience things. We want you to create something and change your life.
What's the average duration of your retreats?
This one's 7 days.
7 days.
But we go up to 10 days. And people can extend if they want to.
You want it on your own.
Yeah. As long as I haven't got another afterwards, we usually are able to extend for 2 or 3 days.
What's the second retreat that's coming?
Okay, other one. This is one I love. This is called the Sacred Heart Tour. We take people out to Uluru, to Ayers Rock, right? And that's that big red rock in the middle of Australia.
Yes.
It really is the heart chakra
of the earth. Yes.
There's an old legend about how Uluru rose out after a big conflict that killed many people and burnt the centre of Australia. It rose out that the world actually brought its heart to the surface to remind mankind to never engage in that kind of conflict again. And we find if we take people to Ayers Rock, that they go, I mean, it's not uncommon when people drive towards Ayers Rock and see it for the first time and just start crying, you don't know why.
Emotional healing.
It moves you from the heart. It affects your heart chakra just being there. So what we take people out there to do is confront any heart-based issues, whether they're love issues with any relationships, and also to manifest the relationships that they want. On a larger scale, we also set group intentions of things that we'd like to manifest on the planet as well.
Beautiful. And what's your third retreat that's coming up?
Also, we have a large, the Indigenous elders out there also work with us quite closely, so we do traditional Australian.
So the participants get to interact with these Indigenous people. Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. What an experience.
In a real way and a traditional way as well.
So do they get to create Aboriginal art and music or during the retreat?
We have one gentleman that comes along, and we call him Donny Didge. He's actually Southeast Queensland Indigenous person for 2013, so he's an Australian every year. And he comes along and actually does do culture. He shares culture. In other words, he shares the dance and the music of his culture.
The didgeridoo.
Yes, men only touch didgeridoo. It's a male.
Yeah, it's a male thing.
Yeah, so he shares that with you, but he does show how to do traditional dances and music.
Beautiful. Right.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the third workshop retreat that you
The
have?
third one is we actually take people into the pyramids and the sacred sites in Egypt. We call it Inner Secrets because two reasons. We actually, one, we travel down the Nile, the way the pharaohs used to, on a beautiful barge, so it's very lush. This is our premier retreat we do. But we actually go down the Nile where the pharaohs did to each of these sacred places in turn. And we perform with them ancient ceremonies in like the pyramids for the reasons that they were originally performed. But we've also got it set up so that when we're there, we are the only people that are there.
So lots of privacy.
Lots of privacy. We can completely focus our energy. Don't have to be aware of anybody else coming in. It's very, very safe. My husband is a retired TRG police officer, so we make sure we're very, very safe wherever we go.
Excellent.
And we finish up in Hatshepsut's temple with one of the past life stuff happens with people in Hatshepsut's temple as well.
Right. Where can the audience go to find out more information? Where can they go to contact you?
Well, the website's the best. I mean, we do lots of other stuff other than what we've spoken about.
Yeah.
You know, it's a whole spiritual training program that we have. And the organisation we've been running spiritual training programs through for over 30 years is called Shambhala Awareness Centre. It's a non-profit organisation set up in Australia. So if you go to shambhala.org, right, and there are a few, I noticed today, I did a little search, there are a few Shambhalas copycatting it. So it's shambhallah.org, and just look for my name on the website, you'll find my name in there. So that's sort of your guarantee of excellence because I make sure everything is researched and presented exactly as it should be to the nth degree. Right, so shambhala.org, go there, you'll see our contact phone numbers, lists of programs we do, and take it from there, I guess.
Great. I'll be placing these links below this video, so please feel free to click on it. Right, thank you again, Shay, for your time and for all your information that you shared with the audience.
I'm happy anytime. Grab me if you see me walking down the street, twist my ear. I'm happy to share information with anybody. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for other cool videos.
Bye-bye.